Hi, this is Brandon Smalley here from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the Retro Walk Camporini Deadlift. This exercise is a build off of our Camporini Deadlift. I'll make sure I've got that linked in the description box below for you to check out. And this is going to be a retro walk version, which means we're actually going to move through space. So this works great in terms of shifting center of mass back, opening up the back and posterior part of the hips, and it's really going to feel it in your glutes and your hamstrings and open up just some quality rotation. It's just going to be a good overall movement exercise. You're probably even going to find this helps open up your mobility as well. So you are going to want a kettlebell for this. It's just more comfortable to use. You could probably make a dumbbell work if you really wanted to, but again, I do think the kettlebell is the preferred option here. And so just a brief recap of our regular Camporini deadlift is that as I've got one leg forward, one leg back, my back stance leg, I have the kettlebell on the opposite arm, or will be a contralateral load. And then for my normal Camporini deadlift, I'm going to make sure my back knee's bent a little bit. I'm actually going to bring the kettlebell to the outside part of my foot here, pushing my hip back like I'm doing a nice big hinge-based movement, and then I would stand tall. So we're going to take this movement and now we're going to implement it with a walk. So I'm going to turn sideways here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come this way, hinge back, and as I go to do the exercise, kettlebell is going to rotate, my arm is going to rotate, and I'm going to push back as well. So I'm going to go back and forth, reaching my hips backwards as far as I can, into position here, and then I'm going to go back the other way so you can kind of see, push back, foot's always staying flat, really trying to reach this part of my hip backwards, with my knee still staying bent, knee is still staying forward. So the big thing you're going to find is you want to turn your knee out, roll your foot. That's the last thing you want to do. Feel the inside arch of your foot. Knee is still going to stay slightly bent. Hinge backward. Chest is going to turn towards my pinky toe a little bit. And then we're just going to alternate back and forth in this position. Okay, so I can really feel that in my left glute more so than my right based upon my own hip mobility. But again, it works great because, again, we're alternating back and forth and moving backwards in space. So what it's going to help us do is help us find our heels. It's going to help us find that back part of that glute, work on our hinging pattern, and still improve our hip mobility on that back leg that we're going. And then we're also getting rotation about our trunk and our midsection as well. So this exercise can kind of be used in several different ways. First, you could just use it as a general warm-up before you actually go to do any kind of lower body or even upper body based training. Probably more lower body if you're also going to use it as a warm-up. But it gets those glutes and hamstrings feeling good. You work on your hinge pattern. You're opening up your hip mobility. You're opening up your thoracic rotation, and you're going to feel a lot better. If that's the case, 1 to 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps on each side is probably going to get you feeling good and feeling great for your workout. If you're using this as an exercise as part of your workout, this would be a great accessory-based exercise on top of your day to really improve that rotation and that hip mobility that we talked about. So maybe you've done your main deadlift movement or your main squat movement for the day, and the next thing you're trying to do is just restore some of that range of motion after lifting a lot of heavy weight. Just make sure you keep those hips feeling good. This works great for that, in which case 2 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps per side. I think higher reps work better here because, again, we're trying to improve range of motion, mobility, and things feeling good. Doing sets of 5 or 6 on each side is probably going to be too heavy to really benefit from the exercise. And again, key coaching points you're going to want to make sure you find and feel here are the inside foot of your back stance leg is pushed into the floor. You don't want to be rolling your foot. Your knee should be in a nice straight line. Again, you don't want your upper part of your leg twisting out. That's kind of what we're trying to prevent. We're trying to get into that back hip. And then as you're hinging backwards, you don't want to actually like bend over and really force that round. Just keep everything nice and neutral. Push your hip back until you feel that stretch, and then you're just going to go back to the next leg. As you're walking, very small steps. We're not trying to take big steps back like this. Again, it's going to be about half a foot length each time. So very, very small steps as we go to make those steps, and always making sure we're staying relatively heel heavy, inside foot pushed down, but still make sure your whole foot's still flat on the floor. So give this exercise a shot. Let me know what you think. It may help your hip mobility. It could just be a good warm-up exercise. It could just be a great lower body accessory exercise to get things feeling good, especially after your squats and your deadlifts. Got any questions? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.